The woman noticed something strange at dinner, as her husband ate his steak. His knife moved with incredible speed, but she never would have guessed that speed came from butchering 15 living beings. For 8 years of marriage, Nick had turned their basement into a cage. Countless screams had echoed from below. But to him, they were the sweetest melody. Because of his unusual job, his wife had never stepped foot downstairs. She only left food at the door. But one day, her best friend's visit changed everything. Her friend warned her, "A man who seems too quiet after marriage often hides dark secrets." Jokingly, she told Nick, "One day, when you're not home, I'll sneak into your basement and see what's inside." Nick stiffened. Days later, the woman suddenly lost contact with her friend. The police searched for days, but found nothing. Nick looked just as shocked, but the woman never would have imagined her missing friend was right beneath her feet, in the basement, bound and struggling. Her friend fought desperately. Beside her, Nick sharpened his knife. She had no idea one careless joke would cost her life, but Nick wouldn't kill her outright. Instead, he injected her with a heavy sedative, then slowly drained her blood. She would feel death creeping in, inch by inch. Once she was gone, Nick would take the most meaningful bone, extract every drop of marrow, and inject it with chemicals. After soaking it in acid, all traces of identity would be erased. No DNA, no evidence, just a nameless bone. Then, he'd mail it to his nemesis at the police station, signing it with his infamous name, because he was the notorious killer. Missing for 8 years, the bone collector. As the police began analyzing the bone, Nick's wife was at home, tidying up. By accident, she knocked open a wooden panel on the wall. Behind it, she found something shocking, a photo of a victim. At first, she thought the previous owner was a deranged murderer. Panicked, she called Nick and told him to come home. Nick felt uneasy. She had never sounded this frantic before. After disposing of a body, he rushed back. The moment he walked in, he saw the gaping hole in the wall. His heart dropped. How could he explain this to the woman he lived with every day? But to his surprise, his wife never suspected him. She believed it was the work of the house's former owner. As she talked, fear filled her voice. She reached for the phone to call the police. Nick stopped her. "If you report this now," he said calmly, "the house value will plummet. Let's wait until we find a buyer first." She hesitated, but his logic made sense. Then, in the next second, her eyes landed on a photo. Her missing friend,